The 49ers just defeated the Packers 24-21. Green Bay has been eliminated from the tournament. The Packers eliminated from the playoffs. In the final seconds, Jordan Love throws an Aaron Rodgers-esque interception to seal the game for the 49ers. Over the years, we've seen the Packers lose some winnable playoff games. Lots of winnable playoff games, but none more than tonight, where this whole game, even with all of our mistakes, it just felt like we were better than the 49ers. Like they were playing really bad football. And our mistakes was a lot of interceptions that we should have had, but we dropped. But at least the plays were broken up. We didn't even punt until the fourth quarter. And we held the lead for most of this game. Until the final minutes where they scored a touchdown to make it 24-21. This was a winnable game when nobody, none of the insiders, none of the reporters, none of the journalists, most NFL fans, if you're not a Packer fan, nobody gave us a chance. Even Packer fans, we knew this was going to be a long shot. But as long as this team is in the game, there is a chance. This team has shown you that. But nobody was giving us a chance, just like last week, and even less of a chance this week. And here we are, with just a few minutes left, beating the 49ers. But as Packer fans, you just had this gnawing feeling that was eating away, right? Like somehow this team was going to implode in the fourth quarter. And somehow, when it was all said and done, the red and gold will have more points than the green and gold. Something was telling us that as Packer fans, because we've seen this script play out time and time again. And sure enough, when the game was over, the red and gold team had more points than the green and gold team. This is one of those heartbreaking games that takes precedent over any other. This one hurts. It hurts bad because it was winnable. This is one of those games where literally if one play here or one play there is switched up, we most likely have this W. But it almost feels like it was never supposed to be that way. I will say this, Anders Carlson, our field goal kicker, I've been saying this most every single review. Every week there's a Packer game and BC does a review. I tell you one big thing, Anders Carlson should not be on this team. He is going to be detrimental to us in a very important game. And here we are. To put us ahead 7 points, so even if the 49ers scored a touchdown, we still don't lose. Worst case, maybe we go to overtime. Anders Carlson from 41 yards misses wide left. Just a few minutes earlier, the 49ers field goal kicker, he got it from 50-plus yards. No problem. Anders Carlson, the guy who has missed more field goals this season than any other field goal kicker in the league. 6, by the way. 6 extra point field goal misses. Extra point. That's the bare minimum of what you have to do for your job, right? If you're hired as a field goal kicker, the bare minimum is just hit the extra point. That's like getting a job as a cook at Applebee's and you can't even microwave the meals, right? You don't even know how to work the microwave. You probably can't be the cook at Applebee's. If you can't hit extra points, you probably shouldn't be a field goal kicker in the National Football League. Now, all kidding aside, right? We can have a laugh at that, but this is very serious. He has missed so many kicks, the very simplistic of kicks, that this guy cannot make the playoff roster. I don't care if you got to grab some kid from the high school that can only hit 25 to 30 yarders. At least he can hit them. And sure enough, I was waving that red flag the entire season in these reviews about Anders Carlson. And here we were with the game pretty much on the line. This was going to be a full touchdown lead with just 6 minutes left in the game. And Carlson shanks it left. Not just a mistake, not just a botch, not just sometimes it's going to be missed. No, this is what he does. He misses more than anybody. I've never seen a field goal kicker this bad at kicking field goals. The problem is he's a field goal kicker. That's literally his job. There's no way. I'll take Joe Barry for another 10 years before I ever want to see Anders Carlson on a football field for the Green Bay Packers. And I don't wish that upon my worst enemy football-wise. I don't wish that on any team, whether the Steelers, the Patriots, the 49ers, or the Cowboys, the Eagles to the Dolphins, the Colts to the Jaguars. I wish that on nobody. Nobody should have Anders Carlson on their team. I wish that on nobody. He proved detrimental when it mattered the most. The game isn't hindering just on him, though, trust me. There was many mistakes that were made. Again, one or two get switched up. This ball game could have absolutely been different. But Carlson was one of the absolute last official daggers in this game to give this to the 49ers. This is a heartbreaker. Jordan Love's interception, there's a moment there, right? Again, as a Packer fan, you just kind of knew how this script was going to end, but that was that little voice that was kind of like, well, this could be the calling card for Jordan Love. This could be where he gets put on the map. The world may see Jordan Love go down the field and win this game with 0 seconds on the clock, right? It's a Rocky story script. I get it. It's Rudy, right? It's one of those Hollywood scripts. But you thought, man, we've seen wild things from this Packer team, from Jordan Love. Maybe there's a chance to stop the same old script and let's start a new presentation. Jordan Love. And this is the new Packers. We're not going to choke in the fourth quarter. We're not going to implode in the fourth quarter. It's not going to be a catastrophe when the fourth quarter begins. But nope. In the fourth quarter, the entire team collapsed. Can't just blame Jordan Love. And that's why, again, I won't just blame Anders Carlson, although, again, that was one of, if not the biggest dagger in the fourth quarter, right up there with the interception from Love. But the entire team collapsed. 2 3-and-outs from the jump in the fourth quarter made us punt for the first time in the fourth. The whole game, we choose the fourth quarter to finally punt and to do multiple 3-and-outs. And for 2 interceptions from Love, by the way. We completely just imploded. It's a heartbreaker. It's a heartbreaker. I do want to say, because this is the last time I'm going to be able to talk to you guys for this season about the Green Bay Packers. This is the last game of the season for the Packers. This is the last review. So I want to say this. As much as this hurts really bad, it's a heartbreaker. And as a Packer fan, we know this feeling and we got to pick ourselves up. It's going to take some time. We may not want to even think about football for a long time. We may need to go on Priceline and get a vacation for a few weeks. I get it. And this one's going to sting a little more than the past ones, for sure, because of the heart that this team showed in the last month and what we have been able to accomplish and never giving up. This one's going to hurt a lot. But I got to give a massive salute to this team. This was an inconsistent team. If you were able to listen or even watch these reviews throughout the season, I was very hard on this team, and it was justified. This team was inconsistent. This team was lacking the very fundamentals of football a lot of this season, and that's not just because they were the youngest team. There was times in this season where the coaches lost the team, especially Joe Barry in that defense. But through it all, they somehow managed to stay in the race. And at the very end, they actually limped into the playoffs. They got in. Joe Barry even was able to pull his defense together. But we did get in. And we did not give up when the world said there's no chance last week against Dallas. They showed up And they did what many said was the unthinkable. They shocked the world. Dallas is in disarray right now. The Packers did that. We went into this week and nobody again gave us a chance, and everybody was talking after that first half. Well, what if the Packers do wait a second. What if going into the fourth quarter, hold on, looks like the Packers might pull this off, right? This is what the reporters, the journalists, the insiders, they started changing their tune. It's because this team never gave up. This is a different type of heart that I've ever seen from a Packer team in the past. They dragged themselves up at their lowest points, raised themselves up when nobody else was going to raise them up for themselves. No, they did it. And for that, I got to give a massive salute to every single Green Bay Packer player. Maybe minus an Anders Carlson. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know how he has a job in the National Football League. I don't know what we were thinking taking this kid in. And when you see him miss this many times, how is he on our playoff roster? Honestly, at that point, don't even allow him to kick a field goal. Nothing but 2-point conversions and nothing but going for it on fourth down if you're anywhere inside of the 50-yard line. You think I'm joking? I'm not. That's how bad he is. That's another story. Every other player, from a Bo Melton, who most of us didn't even know just a month ago, Bo Melton, to a Musgrave, a Tucker Kraft, to Big Jordan himself, our boy Dylan, who's been gone for a few weeks now, unfortunately, with the thumb and wrist and other nagging injuries, and unfortunately didn't play again. But from Dylan to Jones, from Reed to Wicks, and Watson to Jair Alexander, from Savage to Owens, and everybody in between. We could sit here for 15 minutes, name the entire league. From the coaching staff, even Joe Barry, who has pulled that defense together. It is still in need of massive reconstruction, and it needs a massive renovation. But you know what? He really stepped up. Barry stepped up. I don't know if he's the future. I really don't. Weeks ago, we were shouting from the rooftop, he needs to be fired. And I stand by that at that time. It was he's either fired or he steps up and he starts playing Green Bay Packer NFL football, because that was Pee Wee football. And for the most part, Barry did step up. Again, whether he's with the team next year or not, we have to all, from the coaching staff to just anybody that talks Green Bay football or even NFL football, everybody just has to really think with a clear mind, is he the best one for the job? But from Barry to Coach Lafleur and everybody in between, a salute. This was a season I truly will not forget. At times when I truly wanted to forget it. At times where I truly felt this was a waste. The youngest team in the league. I get it. Jordan Love's first actual rookie year, right? As a starting quarterback in the league anyway. Minus the years he's already been in the league. But you get the point, right? This is really his rookie year. So it's growing pains, BC, is what I was told, right? But a lot of these games that we lost this season, they were winnable. That was the problem, right? And the fundamentals were broken down. Whereas even the youngest team in the league, if you had those fundamentals, you were going to win 3 of those L's at least. Top of my dome piece, 3 of the L's that we collected in the regular season, they should have been W's. And they were literally 1 or 2 point differentials, by the way, score-wise. Just a couple 2-tree tweaks here and there. And those are W's. That's what was so frustrating about this team. We knew the potential. They just weren't tapping into it. But at the very end, they said, no, hold my coffee. We're done. Enough with what everybody's saying. We're going to show everybody why we are elite. And out of 32 teams, they were in the final 8. And they came from moments within becoming the final 4 teams in the NFL. Fortunately, once again, it didn't work out. And the finish was all too eerily similar to number 12 in how playoff games would end. Or even Brett Favre. I still remember that Giant game like it was yesterday in the playoffs, and Brett Favre just chucks it right in to a New York Football Giant to end that game. To Aaron Rodgers, one too many times that I can count. Erratically throwing right into the wrong team's hands. And there's Jordan Love off the back foot. Total twist throw. You're thinking, I've seen him hit these. This is it. But I've also seen him miss miserably. This was one of those off games for Jordan. Stat-wise, pretty decent. Hit some good throws too. But there were so many overthrown, underthrown, thrown 5 yards to the east and 7 yards to the west. This was the Jordan Love beginning to middle of the year. And unfortunately, that Jordan Love showed up a lot tonight. We all wanted that Jordan Love from Dallas last week. That's wishful thinking. And so here we are. I know that was all over the place. I'm not going to go over the quarter-by-quarter breakdown. I never even was doing notes tonight, guys. This was the first game this season that I wasn't doing any notes. Everything was just going to be basically how we would do a cold open teaser. It was just going to be all my thoughts, everything that happened, and where we go from here. Whether win or lose, you were going to get a raw, an absolute raw take on this performance, this game, and what ended up being our season. So I know this was all over the place. I'm probably missing a lot of things. There's a lot that I still have to comprehend as a Green Bay Packer fan. Again, this is probably, this is easily top 3 of the most heartbreaking losses. And it could be top 2, maybe even the top. You know, that's how bad this one hurts, because this was more than winnable. Throughout this game, you truly felt we were the better team. The Niners just did not have a good game. And we just left so many of their mistakes on the tables. There was balls that were hitting us in the hands, in the chest, and we were just dropping them. Purdy was trying to give us these gifts, and we were asking for a gift receipt because we wanted to return them. Missed tackles that really, absolutely annihilated us. That's what I mean. I mean, some of the biggest plays for the 49ers, it was our own undoing. It was our mistakes on ourselves. It was our self-implosion, especially in the fourth quarter. Those are the games where if you don't make those mistakes, that's a W. Something about the 49ers, just like recently the Packers kind of have the Cowboys number, playoff-wise, which used to be the opposite. Now it's the 49ers. And even though it felt like we were the better team throughout, it just felt like when the clock went to 0-0-0, the Niners were going to have more points somehow. It just felt like this Packer team tonight was going to implode when it mattered the most. And once Carlson went out there to kick that 41-yarder, I said, no, this is not, I don't feel right about. Guys, do you know what our coach said? Did you guys hear the report? I don't know if you guys caught the game or you're just listening to BC's review on it. Guys, our coach told the sideline reporter during the game, or I think it was before the game, he was asked about Carlson and how many kicks he misses. And like, is that a concern for you? It's the playoffs. Our coach, Coach Lafleur, he said every time he goes out there, I just pray. Every time he goes out there, I just pray. Our own coach should not have to say that. And that should tell you he shouldn't be kicking with the game on the line, because I assure you with 6 minutes left and the number 1 seed in the NFC, and that's the only way we're going to get to a full 7-point lead, a full touchdown, the game is on the line. And the Green Bay Packers put the game into Anders Carlson's foot. And yet again, he made us pay for believing in him. But then again, Did we really believe in him tonight? Or last week? Or last month? Or 3 months ago? No. Every time he goes out there, I just pray. Yeah, he's gone. First thing we do tonight, don't even let him get on the bus, the plane. Fired. Old school Vincent Kennedy McMahon from World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE. You're fired. Fire him. That's it. This is big boy stuff. Anyway, I want to end this on a high note, man. You know, there's the frustration, there's the heartbreak, there's all of that. But what I would like to do is end this on a high note, all right? This has been one wild year. It has been the first season that I've reviewed the Packers on this channel. Oddly enough, ironically enough, which started up as a pro wrestling channel. And this season I said I'm going to expand it. And we're going to start covering Green Bay Packers. And you guys really enjoyed it from week one. And you guys showed that support and appreciation. And we kept doing it. And we're going to continue to do it. But you guys made this so much fun. And covering this team from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs. To triumph to straight heartbreak and tragedy like tonight. I thank you guys for coming along on this ride. I didn't know what to expect. Or how this was truly going to be when I started this season covering the Packers. But it's been one wild ride just like the Packers season. And I'm so thankful and grateful that you guys were along this ride with BC. And if you don't mind, I'd love to have you back next season. But for this season, that's going to do it. That is gonna do it. Our season ends tonight, man. This close from extending it at least another week to get to either the Bucks or the Lions. Wouldn't that have been something? Either one of those teams versus the Pack in the NFC Championship game. If we get past the Cowboys and the 49ers, you gotta believe we were taking the NFC Championship. We've already beat the Lions anyway. And we have a little bit of a receipt to give back to Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, especially with the way we've been playing. But our season ends tonight, guys. 24-21. The 49ers, hey, salute to them. I can't even player hate. Go do your thing. I got family members that are big-time 49er fans. I haven't even texted them yet. I'm sure I'll speak to them at some point within the next 24 hours. Reluctantly. But I'm happy for them. And if you're a 49er fan, I'm happy for you. Truly. You beat us, and you got to, as the losers, we got to dust ourselves off, pick ourselves up, and just get better. Just be better next season. That's what it comes down to. And BC's going to be right here next season. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see if they're better. We're going to see. And we're going to hold them to that. Anyway, as they say, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. For the Green Bay Packers, I'm afraid it's time for a goodbye for the 23-24 season anyway. But we're going to do this again real soon. This ends our time for now. But until next time, and there will be that next time, I thank you guys so much for an incredible season. Let's do it again next season. Salute. I appreciate you guys. Keep rocking, stay amplified. And for one last time this season, go long. Hey, Hail Mary. We have nothing to lose. It's house money. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you the end of the year, right? What do we do? September. We'll do it all again. Salute. Long. I said it's a Hail Mary. Go long, man. Thank you, guys. Peace. Check you.
When